All right, folks, here we go for our second match of day two of the USBA three cushion amateur championship for this year, 2019. And there's the lag between Joe DeAMATO on the left and John GULDALI on the right. I am not familiar with John GULDALI. If anybody in the chat room is familiar with him as a player, feel free to send me a couple of messages in the chat room, and I'd be happy to discuss his background. Looks like John has the break, playing the white. And here comes Joe. Joe DeAMATO is a regular at Mason Shuney's pool room in Malden, Massachusetts. Amazing Billiards. They're also partners in this year's USBA Scotch Doubles tournament that's happening in the evening sessions at this venue. During the course of this week's play, you got to see them play last night against the Feltmans. And if they keep doing well, they've won two of their matches together. If they keep doing well, you will most likely see them both play again. In some of the final rounds of the Scotch Doubles. But for now, we get to see him play solo. Joe DeAMATO's been a little sick as of late as well. He's had the flu, and yesterday he was wearing a face mask. Just didn't want to spread any bacteria, and I think he's doing a lot better now. And I talked to him last night. He said, I don't think I've ever had the flu in my life. That's a good shot. I'll kindly reintroduce this match because we did have apparently some transmission issues. So this is John GULDALI versus Joe DeAMATO. racing to 20 points. And I'll repeat my request. If anybody knows John GULDALI in the chat room or in the audience, please feel free to type something about him, as I do not have a player bio for him. I don't know much about him at all, so he's one of the new faces to this tournament. And looks like he plays good billiards. So it would be great to know something about John, if anybody knows him. Hey, Dave. Lovely. Yeah, I know. So I'm also joined by Dave Gross. He's a participant in this event, and it's nice to see Dave getting back into three cushion billiards. Traditionally a one pocket player now, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I haven't played three cushion in 25 years with any kind of seriousness.
Yes.
But I did play a couple years ago at Edgy's in Milpitas.
Oh, okay.
Get back into it, and that was kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, welcome back to the game.
Thank you. The reason I'm here is I want to remember Dennis Diekman, because I've known Dennis Diekman since the early 70s.
Yeah.
He's from also Ann Arbor, and I'm from Detroit area.
Yes.
So we've known each other a long time, and he's always been bugging me to come back and play. And
well,
I never did.
That's honorable of you to do that.
So, and also I've known Mason for a long time, and this is his last tournament as USBA president. So I thought this was the perfect time to come back.
Yeah, he is. After 3 years of service, Mason stepping down as the USBA president. No word yet on who has been nominated or who is going to be stepping in. But hopefully that position will be filled soon.
So who are we watching?
Come to think of it, Dave, how do you...
What? Oh, yeah.
Any interest in running the USBA
Absolutely.
for a few years?
None.
We have two players, John GULDALI, who I know nothing about, and he looks like he can make a billiard or two. So.
Is he at the table now?
Yes, he is, and he's playing Joe DeAMATO, who is also an old-time, long-time friend of Mason Shooney's, and he also plays at Amazing Billiards, which is Mason's room. And they're also partners in the Scotch doubles portion of this.
I watched some of that, and Joe was wearing a mask, a surgical mask, I guess because of smoke or whatever.
No. He, I guess he's doing much better now, but he had the flu.
Oh.
And I was talking to Joe. I said, it was very nice of you to wear the mask. He said, you know what, I've never had the flu in my life.
Well,
not bad for a guy his age.
Yeah, Colorado, where my wife and I came from for this tournament, that was the one of two states in the union that had the flu epidemic the worst.
No kidding.
So we've escaped it a little bit.
The yellow taketh away.
And I do see an old friend on the table too. He's shooting.
Bobby Page?
No, he's shooting right now.
Oh.
And of course, Mark.
Hanson.
Yeah. He's from the Bay Area, like Sacramento area.
Yeah.
I've known him for a long time. I haven't seen him and a number of people in a very long time, so it's kind of fun.
Well, I'm glad you're here, Dave.
Well,
Dave,
thank you.
You know, I'm amazed at actually the number of people that turned out for this event. 60 players in all.
Right. Oh, well, there was waiting lists too, but I guess people just bowed out at the last minute, so they couldn't fill the 64. But
Yeah,
they had
yeah.
probably 70, 72 players lined up to play.
Of course, you know, how can you get here when you get the phone call
Right.
saying, hey, we've got a spot open for you. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm still in Ohio.
Right. All right, well, let's look at this billiard game here. Enough chit-chat.
Well, Joe's trailing here, but I think he's more than. Oh, I'm sorry, I have a score mistake too. By the way, it's actually 5-2. Now it's 5-3.
So it's early. So 20-point games, they're pretty short games. So anybody can win any game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't want to go that far. I mean, I think there's room for a few swings in scores, but
Yeah, but if I won a game, anybody could win a game. That's what I'm saying.
how have you been faring? By
I
the
won
way?
my first two,
Okay, there you go.
but I've yet to play a good game.
A
first-
tough match, you mean?
No, the first I played a real tough match. Alan Castillo.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
his game.
He's a good player. You know him too.
I met him at Edgy's
Yeah.
2 years ago,
Yeah.
but he was, we had been gone before he came on the scene. And I was lucky to win, but there was a lot of innings. I'm just saying it was a very competitive game, so it was enjoyable like that, but it was tough. So this game is so much fun because you could be as creative as you want.
Yes.
Bloomdahl used to say you're like an artist and you start with an empty canvas and you just paint your own picture. So what's a good shot for you might not be a good shot for someone else.
Yet you'll still hear
Right.
other players gawk at you and say, strange shot selection.
Right.
I think Joe's trying to drop in here.
Yeah.
Well, he's backing up. Or no, he's playing direct.
Well, there's no telling what he really played.
Yeah, it was a little short.
But so that shot had multiple options.
It did have multiple
That's what you wanted
options.
to play.
I would have liked to have dropped in behind it, just the 3 rails, Anyway. That's my canvas.
Right. So a shot like this. I don't know if there's a ticky available. I can't see from this angle, but it looks like he's going cross table. Which that's a good shot because it kind of gives you position if you hit it well because you see where the yellow ball's coming.
Uh-huh.
That's on the long rail.
I think this is good competition for Joe.
Oh, he looked like he was playing really well with Mason last night. I don't know who won the match, but he made several good shots.
Yeah, Mason and Joe won both of their matches last
They
night.
did.
I think they scraped by their first match by 2 points.
Yeah, I know that was close. That's the one that I saw.
Between,
Cesar Cardoza, table 6.
when they versus Gil Najim
Right,
and Khalil Diab.
right. Yeah, Diab's another old friend. It's so great to see him.
You know who I met outside just now, and I was surprised to see him here because I didn't even know, is Mike Malloy.
Yeah, he's playing in this.
Yeah, I had no idea. Just for some reason glossed over the list and didn't see his name.
Mike's been around billiards for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be the tournament directors of some of the nationals and some of the larger USBA tournaments in the early 90s, at least that I know of.
Well, this is never a great situation to be in when you're tucked in behind the red.
So he's going to try to, it's kind of like a +2, but from the back of the ball. He's going to hit the short rail first. Oh, he's gone twice.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, that was a tough shot.
Yeah, you know, it's not easy when you're tucked behind the ball that way.
No.
And here we go now.
He'll probably bank this. I don't see how to get out of the kiss coming off the red ball.
You're right, unless he wants to manufacture some sort of a timing shot. He's yellow.
No,
I'm sorry.
This is pretty big ball for a bank.
He's,
Come 4 rails behind.
yeah, I like the bank. He's playing it long.
It's a little steep. No, he'll make it this way.
Yeah, he got it.
Yeah.
Joe needs the points right now. He's trailing by 2.
And thank you again for, I've watched the stream of this for the last couple of years that you've been doing it. And
Oh, thank you, Dave.
we all appreciate that.
Yeah, the more I watch, the more we stream, the more I learn. I love this game.
Right.
And, you know, I also love some of the camaraderie that the players have. And, you know, it's almost a different level of etiquette, you know, that these guys
I agree.
exude. Definitely worth taking a page from their book and transcending it into the pocket billiard community.
I could do without the vest and the bow ties, though. I know it looks
Well,
nice,
yeah.
but
That's
just let everyone get comfortable.
That's pretty tough action, but
Yeah.
you know, that's how they do it in the.
Actually, they're changing, and they're wearing like golf shirts.
Athletic gear.
Yeah.
Nice shot. Nice shot. Joe is fully caught up now. It's 6 apiece. Back and forth off the red.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, he's
That'll
going to come
flatten
out and get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
did flatten out.
Yeah, you have to make up your mind on those shots.
Yes, how you want it to.
Yeah, you could go deep in the corner and do 3 rails or come out that way. That was nicely done.
He's now taking the lead.
So who's watching? Do we have anybody online?
Yeah, maybe some of your friends are in the house. We've got Gary Deal, Marshall Kraft, Vincent the Kid, the Texas Carom Club.
Oh, that's Richard.
Is that Richard?
I've never met him.
But you know who he is.
Yeah.
Sean Angelesco, Elif, Ada, Bill Faust. Yesterday we had Bert Van Manen was watching.
Mm-hmm.
Always a treat to have Bert in their chat room. He'll probably be in later today. You know, he's over in the Netherlands, so.
Right. A little bit of a time difference.
He's going around the table very long. He hit that ball extremely thin.
It's a touchy shot when that ball's close to the rail. If you hit it a little full, that high karate takes and it comes way short.
Especially with the heavier ball.
Right.
Do you find that, though, you know, after your opponent scores a few points, you find it a little intimidating, maybe a little bit difficult to sort of feel comfortable at the table when you come
Well,
back?
it's just like pool. I mean, if you're sitting for a while and now it gets competitive, you do change your demeanor a little bit, but it depends on the incoming shot
Right.
of how you
How
feel.
the level of difficulty of it.
Right.
Well, this is gonna
I don't think it has enough speed.
run out of gas. No, you might get there. No.
He could do a +2 where he goes short, long, long, and hit the red ball first. He could stretch around the table and play like a 4-rail bank, hitting the long rail where his cue is. So he's going long, long, then short. So he's going to put reverse spin on it.
This is tough.
These tables play a little sharp on this kind of shot where I wouldn't be surprised if it comes straighter back like that than what he expected.
Yeah. I think in order for that angle to be achieved, he might have had to have played the short rail first up table,
Yeah, but he was just trying to drop it in with
Yeah.
reverse English and score. And he probably hit it exactly where he wanted, but if you hit it a hair too hard, it comes quite a bit sharper than what you expect. And does he have room to go through rails? It looks like it. Yep,
Looks good.
he's a nice player. Oh,
Just a little short. So in Colorado, where you're living, how accessible is three cushion billiards to you now?
it's not. So like 26 miles away from me in Greeley, they have
Yeah.
a senior center that has 2 heated tables.
Oh,
It's
okay.
about a 40-minute ride. And that's where I've been practicing. That's a good shot. Ooh, it kept the spin off the third rail. And then a pool room, Mile High Billiards, which is northwest Denver area.
Mile High, yeah, I've heard of that place.
So they just knocked out a wall and put in 2 Gabriels, which I think they're the Gabriels that were used in this tournament last year.
Okay, right, but that's a little further from
That's
you
further.
now.
That's like
Yeah.
60 miles. The senior center is great because it's just you just join and then you play for free.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think if there are rooms adding tables, I think it would be helpful for them to run some tournaments.
Right.
Then it might be worth a drive for you to go out, and play, even if it's just a one-day tournament. That's a nice shot.
Anyway, they're trying to do something. It's funny. There's an Irish pub or a British pub
Yes.
in Broomfield, Colorado.
Okay.
And he's trying to create a gentleman's club, and he has a Gabriel's table and a 9-foot pool table.
Ah.
So you have to be a member to do that. I've been there a couple times. The food's really good. Their fish and chips are the nuts. That's the Burn Pub.
You're sure now? You better be sure, because I'm British, so I know what good fish and chips is.
It's good. It's good. And if you go there, just say hi to Big John.
Okay.
If he's still there. He doesn't work as much as he used to. They have a motel attached to it,
Yeah.
and they're kind of near the Broomfield Airport.
J.R. Hendy is watching as well.
John
Hi, John
Henderson.
Henderson. How are you?
John would have a ball here.
Oh, John has a ball wherever he goes.
Yeah.
John is a ball.
I'm not even going to ask you what that means.
Oh, he's just a barrel of laughs. He likes to, he's got a great attitude about the game. Win or lose, he has a good time. He knows how to have a good time.
He's one of the best people I've ever met to have in a pool room.
Yeah.
I mean, if I owned a pool room and John was near me, I'd let him play for free. He's always generating action. He's always in a good mood. People like being around him.
Hey, careful now, because now he'll start walking into the pool room saying, "Hey, you know what Dave Gross said?
He should.
Dave Gross said I should get free table time." Yes, John Henderson adds that Hard Time Sacramento is adding 2 more billiard tables. They already have 1.
I knew they got
They're
one.
adding two more tables now.
Well, that's good because with 3 tables, you could start doing tournaments and stuff like that.
That's true.
One table's horrible because once there's interest, everyone just comes there to play and then are waiting for the table to.
Yeah. Apparently, they had a tournament on the one table though. 16 players.
Well, good for them. Sounds like a lot of waiting.
Sean Angelesco says that Joe DeAMATO is the drop-in king.
Nice.
It's a nice shot. You know, it's one of the most common subjects that are covered in our chat room. Whenever we run these tournaments, we always hear from viewers that there's nowhere for them to play around their homes, you know? And so, you know, we really want to encourage room owners to, you know, and let them know that we're out here promoting the sport for them, you know?
I think it's a great
And
service, and
we're happy to mention the rooms that are holding and hosting events and having tables. We're happy to do that.
in the middle of Kansas, I had a friend who owned a bowling alley in Larned, Kansas.
Okay.
And one of the small towns near there, in a bar, had a 3-cushion table. How it got there
In a
is
bar,
because there were a
okay.
couple of 3 people that like to play. They bought the table and they put it in.
Yeah.
And all they ask is they don't get charged time.
You know, I thought about that too. Like, you know, the rooms should start a program where they take like their, you know, 5 customers. They each put in 1,000, and they get 2 years of free table time, something like that. You know.
Well, they have memberships like California Billiards Club. I don't know what it is. You could pay a monthly fee, maybe an annual fee.
They do.
And
They
then,
do. A lot
you
of
know,
rooms they have monthly
Yeah, and you have a
programs.
choice to play up until maybe 6 or 7, or you could play anytime. Bless you.
As long
Bless
as
you.
as long as the tables are available.
Right.
If they're full, you have to get bumped off. But
Right.
no, I think it's important. And you know what California Billiard does is, I believe they cap it to only 75 players.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And well, you know, it just basically it's I think it's fair that way to do it that way.
Right.
Joe is on a little bit of a roll right now. He's got his red in a nice position.
He's finding his rhythm.
Yeah. And now he's probably going to play off the red here.
He probably will, but it's kind of touchy because you're going to be drawing the yellow ball and cutting the red ball.
Right.
And
It
they're
can
going
be
to kind of get close to
Kissy.
each other.
It's kissy.
Could be.
Ooh.
He handled it really well.
He sure did. Boy, he doesn't need that face mask anymore, I tell you.
Well, now he needs it. It looks like he's robbing everybody.
Yeah, now he does need it. I think he's very possibly on a run of 4 right now. John will sit there waiting patiently.
Where's John from? Do you know?
No, I don't have a bio on him, and you know, we try to get these players to fill out a little bio on themselves. Although players do slip through the cracks, so I
I
don't.
need to amend mine because when you ask what cue I was using, I put down my Schrager. But yesterday I kind of got into a funk and I switched to the Schuler that I brought,
Did you really?
and that worked better at that time. You know, it's like
Yeah, yeah.
so it's going to be a Schrager or a Schuler.
Looks like John is starting to feel the pressure of this game now.
Right. This game's funny.
He was coming out actually with a bit of an edge on Joe, but it seems to be changing.
So Joe must have had a run of 6. He's got 16.
Yeah, he does. He did have a run of 6. That's looking a little long. Or short.
The lovely Geraldine just woke up and found her way into the control booth.
She's been here.
I know, she's shaking her head. She gave me a look.
Stop making my staff look bad in front of the viewers here. If you're just joining us, guys, this is Daniel Bush, and I'm sitting with Dave Gross.
Hello.
Well, tell us a little bit about, when you started playing three cushion. How did you discover it?
Well, that's an interesting story. So the room I grew up playing in, I grew up in Oak Park, Michigan.
Yeah.
And the room I started playing in had 8 three-cushion tables, 6 6x12 snooker tables, 2 5x10 snooker tables,
Yes.
and 14 9-foot Gandys. And there was a guy who said, if any young people were interested, his name's John McKetta.
Okay.
He would be happy to work with you.
To
No
teach
charge.
teach a little billiards.
Teach billiards, work on your stroke,
Yeah.
do whatever.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with the game.
And you were about how old?
I'm 65.
No, you were about how old?
Oh,
when that happened?
Well, let's see. I snuck in the pool room at 16, but you had to be 17. And so when this happened, I was probably around 18, maybe about 18 to 19. And so I graduated high school in 1971. And so in those days, there was a lot of experimentation.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So I got out of that after my first year of college. And I was a little withdrawn and stuff like that. So I just fell in love with three cushion, and that was basically my crutch that got me through a tough time in my life.
I see. Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's similar to me, pool, Q Sports, they helped me immensely in my mid-20s.
I would mention it to a doctor or something, in my mid to late 20s or whatever, and kind of tell him about it. And he goes, "I never thought that a pool room would be some kind of benefit to someone's health, mental health or whatever."
Yeah.
But it was for me. So I'm grateful I had it. So it's just been a hobby for my whole life. Although I was working and married and took many, many breaks of substantial years
Mm-hmm. Away from the game?
away from the game.
The longest
easy
for
to
me
come
was, I took 7 years. That was the longest for me. I don't, never again, because it took a year for me to find my stroke again.
Well, you certainly seem to have found it. You got a great stroke.
I don't. Thank you very much. It gets me in more trouble than I care to discuss at this point. My innings, I'm losing count of innings. It's 15 innings, folks. And Joe comes off the red with another billiard. Any idea? Do you think Joe's using it looks like he might be using a Tiger, but I'm not sure what
Well, he
cue
might
he's
be. I
using.
mean, he knows
Actually, hold
Mason
on.
really well. But oops.
So you're one of the few who, actually, no, not one of the few, because I've seen several wives here, but you brought your wife with you.
I did. Well, she's the reason that I'm here. So she recently retired. I've been retired for about 3 years.
Yeah.
And she recently retired, and I was calling Mason to find out about the tournament. And I just mentioned it to Diane, and she goes, Tucson in January, coming from Colorado.
Uh-huh.
We're going.
Oh, that's very
So I
nice.
called Mason back, and we jumped in a car, and here we are.
That's awesome. And she's enjoying herself.
Yeah, she'll be here later. And I've got a first cousin from the Detroit area
Mm-hmm.
that lives in Bisbee, Arizona. So we're going there Thursday.
Oh, good. Good. It's always nice to, when you go and travel at these events, it's nice to have somebody to visit.
Yep. And Diane has a cousin, lives in the Scottsdale area. So after this, we're going to go golf a couple rounds.
Oh,
and then
then
head back.
Now you're really having fun. Well,
That's a good shot.
Joe's taking charge of this match. I think he's 1 point in.
I think that's his first one. But he's got a nice game, if those innings are correct. This is his 17th inning.
Yeah, this would be above 1 average.
I probably averaged about 0.6 so far.
That's better than me.
But
I'm not that good.
I've never been much for averages anyways. I'm playing the opponent, and it's a competition. You win or you lose.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That is very nice. Joe needs 1. He's definitely shook off that flu that he said he had.
I think we need to put him in a lie detector.
Yeah. It's like you said, he needs that face mask back because he's starting to rob. Look at this beauty. Such a nice touch.
Very
And
lovely.
there we have it, folks. This match is over. 20-10 in 17 innings, correct?
Yes.
And he's rubbing his temples.
Yep.
He's acting.
All right, well, thanks for having me.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. Lovely to have you check in with us. That's Dave Gross, everybody. And you're watching POV Pool on YouTube. Please subscribe and share. And don't go anywhere, folks. We've got 5 more days of this. And he put the face mask back on. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to remind you guys that at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, don't miss the USBA Scotch Doubles event, round 2, with the players offering play-by-play suggestions with each other as they play on microphone. Very exciting format. So join us tonight at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time for some of the fast-paced Scotch doubles matches that we've been having here at the Casino del Sol Resort. Thanks a lot, everyone. We'll be right back. There's JoJo cleaning the table for the next players, for the incoming players, who we will be finding out very shortly who is next. Take care, everyone. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.